Everyone. Let's see. Lucy, is this your first time joining? You don't have to speak if you don't want to.
I've never seen it. You have a nice fancy house.
Oh, thank you. It's not my house, it's my mom's. My mom's. So, but thank you. I appreciate it. It's I'm like calling my mom over there. I'm like, always the disclaimer, I am recording this. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. You are more than welcome to participate. And if you don't want yourself in the recording, then let me know and I can edit things out if I do ever release anything. Also, the book club has the age range of a huge age range. So sometimes I gave the example a bit ago. Sometimes we talk about things like Lilo and Stitch. Other times we talk about things like boobs in a cage. So use your discretion with that. Also, all ideas and thoughts are welcomed here. Like a classroom discussion, I just always say a little bit more fun. Maybe you bring drinks to your classroom kind of thing. But just having good, honest discussions. On top of that, let's see if someone wants to join in as well. Let me see. Emily can now join this meeting. Welcome, Emily. We're just about to get started. We're just doing the standard disclaimers and everything. So thank you for joining. Another heads up is I didn't watch Crisis. I was planning on to, and then it just got really late. So that's on me. I apologize for that. And also, what I like to do with my notes is I like to rewrite them and organize them. And I thought it would only take me an hour, but then I only got done episode 1 in that hour doing that. So you get to see me trying to read my scribble for all my other notes. So anyone that just joined us, didn't watch Crisis, you get the fun of me trying to read my messy handwriting. Is there anything that anyone wants to say or start off with? If you haven't been here before, you're welcome to introduce yourself. You can tell us how you got into the TV series or even how you got introduced to Katie. Oh, more people are coming in. Welcome. Happy to have you. So if this is your first time, you're more than welcome to speak up, unmute, go into the chat and the messages. The more participation helps me. Last time, I think I think there's more in the chat, which I am perfectly fine with. I use that forum for other things when I'm in other lives with other podcasts and book clubs. And coming off mute. So please utilize that. Feel free to take yourself off of mute as well. And I guess if no one else has anything to say, I'll give it a quick second because sometimes I know people try to find the mute button and type. So I'll give you guys a second and I will have a little drink.
I'm old, so I was watching that show when it came out in 2015. And
oh, yeah?
I keep rewatching and I keep doing that to myself. But you know what? Between that and Fix, it gets me through.
That's awesome. I started watching season 2, and then it was, I think it was season 2 was airing. That was my first time. My brother got me into it. I was a huge Smallville fan, so you'll definitely see me referencing that occasionally. I think I definitely have Smallville notes in here. Also Grey's Anatomy notes. So heads up on that, because I, very quickly, I used to run cross country. On our long runs, my college team would talk about Grey's Anatomy. And so I caved in. This was years ago, like 2016. I caved in. I watched the series and I haven't stopped because I made a commitment. So that's where my Grey's Anatomy references come from. So I hope you enjoy those as well. Let me see. So Supergirl, yes, I've also seen a lot of stuff on Twitter recently about people talking about Supergirl because of some comments that were made. And then if they want to, what was one of them? Coming to like Kara's and Supergirl's defense and wanting them to watch the series again, but it's a little too painful. So I get that as well. but I've really enjoyed these rewatches. It was one of my favorite shows for a long time, and it's good to revisit that and to see things that I didn't see before, especially as like a whole series. So on that note, does anyone else have anything to say, or we can get started on episode 1? Okay. Last time I just did the little episode synopsis and then went into it. Once again, please feel free to use the chat. Okay. So episode 1 is Girl of Steel. It was in 2017. You go by Sam, right? I want to make sure I'm saying your name correctly. Said I ordered the latest books you mentioned in your Insta post. Awesome. Thank you. I need to actually order both. Because I have The Secret History. I ended up finding it at a thrift shop, and it ended up being in the wrong section because it's a really valuable copy. It's a first edition signed by the author. It has a plastic cover. It has the receipt. And I had just been wanting to read the book, so I pulled it out. I ended up spending like $100 on it, and it's probably worth between $500 and more. So I keep that hidden. It's the most expensive book that I have right now. So that's tucked away. So I don't want to open it or even touch that to read it. So I do need to order both. The other one was the Goldfinch. Both I hear are really good, and I can't wait to read them myself. So Sam, I hope you can join us when those are ultimately our books of the month, which probably will be probably not August, maybe September and October. Okay, so episode 1, looking forward to it too, Sam. Kara deals with the loss of Mon-El by focusing her energy on being Supergirl and concentrating on a mysterious new threat. Alex confesses a secret to Maggie. A citizen of National City has a mysterious connection to Kara, and Lena makes a bold move. So this is a 6-month time jump from the finale. The first scene we get is Kara walking in this field, which is very beautiful, very aesthetically pleasing. The only thing for me was she's touching the grass, and I'm like, what about ticks? I'm from New England. There's ticks everywhere. I have Lyme disease. It kicked my butt really bad. But I'm just like, and I know she's Supergirl and that it wouldn't affect her, but all I thought during that scene was ticks and bugs, but it was beautiful. I also liked when she was underwater and you had the bubbles coming up. I loved that scene as well. I thought the camera work on that was very good. We then get to one of my notes here is that the city's kind of is rebuilding itself and was in mayhem. So it kind of reminded me of a State Farm commercial where the guy's like, oh, with mayhem like me. And he's standing and there's all this chaos and he's causing chaos. That's kind of what it felt like for me from the end of season 2 into season 3. National City has been through a lot of property damage. So I hope they had good insurance, maybe State Farm. I don't know State Farm, but it reminded me of the commercials. Good commercials. It's a win in my book. And we see Alex then talking about she's inviting Kara to the wedding tastings because Kara loves food. We all know that. And she gives 3 different choices. So if you'd like to, in the chat, let me know what your favorite one is. It was pot stickers, oyster shooters, or pigs in a blanket. Let me know in the chat or feel to unmute what's your favorite of those 3. So pot stickers, oyster shooters, or pigs in a blanket. My personal is probably oyster shooters just because I am from the East Coast. I live near the beach. I even know where to find my own. So that's my favorite of the 3. Then pot stickers, then pigs in a blanket.
Those are all terrible for a wedding. It's
not
classy at all.
I know they are. Sam says pot stickers. Yeah, I'm trying to think, where was I? Was at a fundraising gala a couple weeks ago, and their appetizers were like this meat stick and like a taco, a little mini taco, which they were cute, but they were just not very like finger friendly. And not very vegetarian friendly either. Their wedding's not vegetarian friendly, I guess, so none of those are for me. Yeah. Yeah, I was a vegetarian for a while too. I'm not anymore. I mean, maybe there are vegetarian pot stickers,
But
but
Maggie was vegan. Like
oh,
they
I
did a
didn't even
whole thing
realize
about
that.
it. So
Oh
she
my,
couldn't eat the appetizer.
oh my gosh. No wonder why she's inviting Cara. Maggie can't eat anything. Oh, that's so sad. I'll have to give her like a celery stick or something. She gets like the celery stick or like the leaf garnish on the side. Oh, that's so sad. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that tidbit. Lucy, you're like our go-to like fact person because you've watched the series so many times, so I appreciate that. Does anyone else have anything to say about food selections before we get started talking about Morgan Edge? Okay, so the first scene we see of Lena and Katie is they're in James as well, I believe. They're in Edge's office. This is a new character. We've never seen him before. They're talking about the relief efforts and all that stuff. There's this bickering between Morgan Edge and Lena, which I actually really loved. I thought their chemistry was great. Not like a romantic chemistry, like nothing like that. Just their on-screen chemistry, just similar to Lena and Lillian. It's very good. It's the bickering, it's the butting heads, it's the quick lines. It's very entertaining. I also loved that James, and I'm not a big fan of the James and Lena relationship, but this was one of the first times, or maybe only times so far, that we see James sticking up for Lena with Morgan. So I really liked that. On something that I had noted is you have Edge coming after Lena saying like, oh, I don't know the words, but you're doing this for restitution, your own guilt for your part in what had happened. And then on the opposite end, we have Cara telling Lena that, you know, you're the one that saved the world. So you get these confliction, polar opposites of people saying these things to Lena. So I can only imagine what she's going through. Yeah. Does any? Oh yes.
Anyone said that Lena blames herself for everything. So she's out there genuinely believing what Morgan Edge is saying, while the only positive thing she's hearing is from Kara, her best friend, and then slash this dude who's trying to fuck her.
Yes. And you also have to think too is Kara's not being the best friend in Kara right now. She keeps canceling on Lena. And we see that later on. Yeah, Lena says, I miss you. We keep making plans. You keep ditching. And like she even apologizes for her part with Monel. But Kara says, oh, it's not you. That was a Supergirl decision too. So there's really no one else that Lena has. And if we think just less than a year prior, she just lost Jack. And then and then all the stuff with her mom and everything. So she's dealt with a lot of loss, and she's trying her best to kind of build herself up and build the city that she now calls home. Yeah. Thank you, Lucy. Going in, does anyone else have anything to say about that?
I saw somebody note online once that like Lena is the only one taking notes and having all her stuff spread out in front of her while everyone else just has their folders closed. And I think that's really interesting.
Oh, I love that. That's an awesome observation. I didn't notice that when I was watching. Yeah, I guess that kind of shows where she like wants to be and like who she is. Like she's there not just, you know, be in this high, powerful meeting with all these people. She's there to actually make a difference and to take notes and apply action. Okay. The next thing that I have, let me just make sure I cover all the bases before I move on. Oh, this is about Kara and Catco. James in there as well. James notices, okay, it's hard not to, how much Kara is working as Supergirl. And he mentions it to her, and she kind of rebuttals him, saying, it's my job, that Supergirl is her job, which is true. So is Catco, though. And there was issues with this in the previous seasons as well. It's yes, the title of the show is named Supergirl, but ultimately, Kara Danvers is it's the fundamentals of who she is, and Catco is such a big part of her life. It's also her job. It is a very real paying job, which I had noted it's someone's priorities versus the reality in the rest of the world. So right now, Kara is prioritizing Supergirl, but the reality of it is the world's moving on. The rest of the world's moving on, and that's where Kara comes in. And right now, she's not doing that. She's trying to fill a void because of Mon-El. Yep, Sam says Kara the reporter has to balance out Kara the Supergirl. Yes, absolutely. And she's not doing that right now. And it comes to the point that she quits. And she says Kara Danvers was a mistake. Supergirl isn't human. And that Clark said that he wouldn't have made that decision. So once again, she's trying to compare herself to Superman, who have a very different story than her. But my question for you is, James right now is the CEO or the head of Catco. Do you think Kara would have quit if it was Cat Grant that was there? Because I think it was an easy quit for her because it was James. It's her friend. I don't know if she would have quit if it was Cat Grant.
Cat Grant would have put her straight, and you can't fuck up your life because of a man.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. Does anyone else have any thoughts or comments? I don't think so. Cat would have berated her 100%. And I kind of would have loved to see that, even if it was just, did I don't know, maybe Lucy, you'll have to answer. Did Cat ever contact Kara about quitting and not being there at Catco or anything?
Not that I remember. Not till the end of the series.
Yeah, not till the end of the series. Even just a phone call, because that's pretty easy. The actress, because she didn't want to really be in Vancouver, I believe. So that's a phone call. It's audio acting. Just have a phone call, record it, and have her, ream Kara, and then Kara, like just a little tidbit. Just could have been like a 20-second scene. I think that would have been really cool. Like even a voice.
CW cannot afford 20 seconds of Callista Flockhart.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh, that's one of the many things that could have been better. But that's why there's fan fiction. So, okay. Does anyone else have anything to say before we move on? Which is, we're going to move on to the statue, Sam and Rain, and the rest of Catco stuff. Okay. So in the next few scenes, we get Kara and John talking. Lena's I definitely rewrote that wrong. Let me go back to my old notes. Reach over. Because I put the Statue of Liberty, but it's not this. I don't think it's the Statue of Liberty. That's, what did they name it? I just put statue revealing. behind the girl, it's the girl steel statue. I don't know why I wrote that. Maybe because I just saw a Twitter post about the Statue of Liberty. But this is, let me see. Quick side note: while they were filming the statue revealing, Katie had a very large book with her. I believe that was an Alexander the Great book about his life. Is it by Robert Massey? I think Masse or IE. So very quick tidbit fun fact about that. We also get the introduction to Sam and Rain, which you don't know much about. We get the ending scene, which I really hated but also loved. Does anyone have any comments about the statue revealing or any other thing up to this point? Okay, awesome. Now we're gonna go into Kara and Lena with Catco. Kara believes Catco's gone. Lena says, not so fast. I bought it. And then she learns that Kara quit. And here comes like some of my favorite dialogue, which is, well, then unquit. I can't do this without you. You studied under Cat Grant. How often do you get to work with your best friend? Which is very true. One thing that I loved about this scene is that Lena says you studied under Cat Grant. Lena sees the best in people. She doesn't see Kara as just Cat Grant's assistant. She sees that as a bigger role, and especially as someone who has assistants, Lena does. Jess, love Jess, and then whoever else kind of comes in. But I just thought that was a very nice line because it shows that Lena believes in her and thinks highly of her. She did spend $700 million for her friend. Yes, despite on what she says in future episodes, it was for a friend. The next scene is Morgan Edge comes in, and then there's the casual like kind of bickering back and forth, which I love. And ultimately, Supergirl comes in, takes Morgan Edge, and leaves him on a shipping container, which I thought was hilarious. I remember seeing that for the first time and just laughing. In the line, like, you got all of my attention. Just the repetition of that within those short, quick scenes I thought was really great. Does anyone else have anything to comment here? The absolute drama of it. Yes, Marina.
I think I kind of liked that Lena was like, well, unquit. That's such a Nepo baby move. You can't unquit a job. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I think occasionally she shows her privilege and stuff. Mm-hmm. Good for you, babe.
Yeah, and then even in the coming episodes where once again Kara's ignoring her job and Lena's like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is a business decision, or I have that written down somewhere in my notes. But yeah, you can't unquit a job. Kara is very thankful for James. Yeah. Anyone else have anything to comment? Two quick things that I have for this episode, because this one took me a long time. So I don't even know if we're going to get all the way to episode 12. So apologies on that, but I love the discussion. Maggie's wearing a leather jacket. And this is where, in the beginning, if you weren't here for it, I talked about Grey's Anatomy. Maggie is wearing a leather jacket it's the same jacket that Amelia wears in, I don't know what season it is, but I know she wears it. So shout out to that. And Amelia from Grey's Anatomy. I loved that jacket. And it's a very, very expensive jacket, I believe. At least a few $100s. The gay jacket. Yes, it is. We'll have to see if that is in other TV shows as well. But yeah, it's a black leather jacket. and then it's like these kind of cross stitchings with the like diamond kind of shapes. So that is
One of the vegan leather.
yeah, yep. Mhm. Yes. For the ending, you get what you think is a nightmare from Kara, and then there's this figure, and then the figure, oh, it's Kara's mom, isn't it? Yeah, it's Kara's mom, and the face morphs, and it's this very scary face. I didn't like that because I'm not a scary movie lover, but I understand why they did it. I liked the thrill of it. I guess like I like the concept that they were trying to do. But my favorite part was that it was a plot twist because it wasn't Kara, it was Sam that woke up. Went to look it up in case Clark Griffin Ward on the 100. I think they're similar. I love the look of that too. She might have. This would have been 2017. And I know for Grey's Anatomy, I don't know what season it was, but I know that Amelia was with Owen, which ew. Not a big fan of Owen as much as I used to be. But she would wear it, and then she was kind of going through something. Amelia was going through something, and I remember the scene where she had the bag of pills, which, spoiler alert, I guess if you haven't seen Grey's Anatomy or Private Practice, she's holding the pills, and then Owen is there to kind of comfort her and to take those away from her. So I remember that, her wearing the jacket then, and then other parts as well of the season. Yeah. Anyways, that is it for episode 1, Girl of Steel. Does anyone else have any comments or things they'd like to add before we go into episode 2, which is triggers? Okay, let me see. My phone will load. A thief who has psychic powers attack national city. Oh, how many episodes will you cover today? I don't. I can go for however long. It doesn't matter to me. It's up to you guys. My plan was to do half the season, which is about episode, I think 12. But we definitely don't have to do that all today. We can come again another time. So it's whatever's convenient for you guys and how many episodes that you want to do. So let me know if you want to go a little bit over. If you don't want to go over, if you just want to go till 1 o'clock. I know we started late. So just let me know in the comments or unmute you. So episode 2 is would love to go until 1 due to work. Okay, yeah, we can absolutely do that, and then I'll schedule another time. I can try for this week, and then definitely next week, or maybe even figure out another time period that's not 12 o'clock my time as well. So episode 2, triggers. A thief who has psychic powers attack a national city, immobilizing victims by tapping into their worst fears. James and Lena are at an impasse, and Sam starts her new job at L Corp. Oh, gotta go. This has been fun. Talk to you later. Yep. Thank you, Lucy. I appreciate you coming and all your help. And so we get this episode where we see Lena buying Catco. And that she's actually present with this. This is not just something that she just buys and doesn't manage. She's all hands on deck. And we see Eve again, and that we know that she emailed her assistant at L Corp to know about all her favorite things. My first thought is this actually the case? We later find out Eve and Lex are working together, or did Eve really email Lena's assistant, or is this information that she had learned from Lex? So that is kind of my question. I feel like Lucy may have known, so I should have asked that before she left. But if anyone else knows, please feel free to type in the chat. James had assumed that with Lena buying this, that it was going to be a he was gonna offer more weekly meetings, and Lena's like, nah, I'll be here every day, which I absolutely loved. And you will get to see what I like to call my little Katie Rage segment about James and Lena and Catco. But before that, we have a lovely scene that Kara gifts Lena a planner, which I thought was very Kara-like, not very Supergirl-like. So something a little bit out of character for kind of what she's going through, because we've previously seen that Kara has been avoiding Lena, like ditching plans and all that kinds, or canceling plans. But then again, she just quit, so maybe Lena helped her get her job back, so she has to do a little swooing. So she gives Kara a planner, and then Lena says that, on the first day of school, we always hired a PI to see if our teachers' credentials are up to date, which I thought was hilarious. And also kind of very true. I guess you never really know. But hey, if you can do it, I guess you want the best education. So then, let me see. We get a lot of Catco scenes. Lena mentions a trend for CEOs, which is this open workspace. Do you guys like, or have you ever experienced an open workspace environment? Is that something you think that you would like? Or do you like, this is my desk, this is my space, this is my office, instead of it being kind of all open and you just kind of randomly find a table one day? If you'd like to share that, you can unmute or go in the chat. I know for me personally, I've had a little bit of both with some of my jobs. I've had my own office and stuff before, which I really like the kind of like the privacy of. I can kind of get in a mindset and get stuff done. What I liked about an open concept office was you got the opportunity to talk and meet with a lot of more people. The problem with me is that I have really good hearing and I love helping people. So if I hear someone needing help or talking about something or asking a question, I will get distracted and I will try and help them out. But I like both. So if you have any thoughts on that? Sam says, I'm into field work since the start of my career. Now it'd be very difficult to have a desk solely assigned to me with no contact. That's very cool. The work that I did was at a biotech company, and I helped manage facilities and maintenance. So sometimes I was out on the floor. Other times I was helping with with vendor stuff, like pest control, elevators, dock and lift equipment and stuff. So some of it was very in office, making phone calls, sending emails, and other parts of it was a lot of communication and being there with the technicians and other vendors. Emily says, I highly value my private office. Haha. I like listening to music while working, so I don't want people talking to me constantly. Yes, that's what I like too. I like putting my headsets in and then just getting work done. But like I said before, I love to chat and talk to people. So does anyone else have any opinions on open concepts? Which also, very, very quickly, the company I used to work at that I was just talking about, their main location is in California, but that's where the CEO and all the people are talking about. And it was always kind of a joke that they don't have the office because it was more open concept there in California, that the CEO didn't have an office. He just had this little teeny table bar. So it'd be like a bar, like a little table with like bars, which is very, like, I don't know if I would like that at all. Like, not that I would never be a CEO or anything, but if I was a CEO, I kind of want my own personal space because you work so many hours. Let me see. So going into the next part, Lena, so she has this idea for open concept and she wants to meet people. So James has no agenda for her. From my experience, when you have your CEO or higher up management coming, you have emergency agendas in place. even if it's like, oh, we're going to go around this area in this corner, or you're going to talk to this person. And it's just to kind of like keep them busy, but also kind of feel like so keeping them busy so you can get your work done, but enough that they are seeing the company and like the value of it and the value of the work that you guys are doing. It made no sense to me, and that James, I mean, because I guess James still doesn't really like Lena. Just see him kind of like push back against her. It's like who would you rather have as a boss, Morgan Edge or Lena? Like, give Lena this welcome opening, show her that she is of value to Catco, because she, like it was mentioned before, spent $700 million on a company. And I just feel like James just expected to kind of run Catco and just not have there be any change. So I thought that was very frustrating. They wanted the enemies to lovers so bad. They did, but it didn't work. And at least in my opinion, it didn't work. If there's anyone that's a fan of James and Lena together, please feel free to speak up. Your opinion is definitely valued, so I don't want you to feel that you can't. But it didn't make sense to me. Let me also see. It felt like there was like this kind of like turf war between James and Lena. That, I mean, and James is a rather new CEO too, so he's just trying to find his footing. And Lena knows how to run a company, but not a media company. So I understand they're trying to figure out their footing. I just think that James should have been way more prepared. But that being said, he was a photographer. Like, what does he really know about running a media company as well? Does anyone else have any comments about Lena and James and Catco? Which I guess we are still kind of on. But if you're just kind of tuning in, you didn't hear my spiel. I didn't get a chance to rewrite my notes, so they're very, very sloppy. I had a very like this flowy ink pens, and so I just kind of scribbled instead of writing clearly. So I'm just trying to read that. Sam says James wanted to be a bit intimidating to Lena, but failed miserably. My personal opinion. Yes, yeah, I agree with that too. Definitely, maybe kind of overcompensating on that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think me being the fandom made me hate their ship more. Yeah, I can see that as well. Last month when we were talking about season 2, I kind of felt that with Monel a little bit. When I was first watching season 2, I was like, oh, I don't think Monel's is that bad as I used to think he was. But so that's just my personal opinion. But I just don't like because of the history with James and how much his character has kind of pushed back about Lena. So, we get the scenes. Oh, very quick, because we were just talking about my previous job and stuff and then one thing I mentioned was elevators. So Kara destroys an elevator, and that's all we hear from it. Like, I don't think there's any acknowledgement of that ever kind of being fixed or talked about again. Elevators are extremely expensive. Also a very outdated technology, and I personally don't ride in elevators because of it. I've seen too many people trapped. All safe, but when I saw that, and just from my history, my work experience now versus 2017, I'm like, how is that getting replaced? And that's going to be a ton of money. So I understand Kara had to get out. It was a terrible situation with Sai and the mental stuff, but I saw that, and it kind of took me out of the show for a second, which I didn't like. But anyways, let's see the chat. And for the same for Monel and Kara, but let's not get into that. Yes. Also funny how we have a fandom decided on Lames as a ship name. Yeah, that was very convenient. The fanfiction mentioned a lot about Lena going to therapy, but rarely Kara going to one. That's a very good point. Yeah, Kara definitely needs therapy. Probably more than anyone. Especially not only just on what just happened, but her whole history as a whole. And last night, kind of jumping forward, I was watching Midvale, which I was going to skip because I didn't think I had time. But then I got lots of comments that I have to watch it. So I did. And you have John, who shapeshifts as her mom, pretending to be like this FBI agent. And that, I just thought that was very like manipulative, like to be a young girl and have all this stuff happening. And then you see your mom, or who looks to be your mom. So yeah, Kara definitely needs therapy. I kind of wish we saw that in the series. I think that would be very cool. I'm trying to think what kind of character, what comic book character would be a good therapist for Kara and the other superheroes as well. Very quickly, kind of going back on another reference on a show that I also recommend. It's called Rookie Blue, and it's a Canadian cop show. There is spoiler, there is a character that becomes a lesbian, Gail. I love Gail. But Sam says she's watched it. There's, before one of the seasons, they did these little like preview segments, and each of the characters, it's on you, I think it's on YouTube, in like a therapy session. So I thought that was just really cool, and that kind of reminded me on that. So if you get a chance to watch Rookie Blue, it also has what's her name? It's the girl from that gymnastics movie. Like Stick It, or is it Stick It? So she's a star in that as well. Anyways, not to get on into that. Does anyone else have anything to say before I kind of continue on? And we have discussed that Lena, she did buy a Catco for Kara as a friend, but Lena does say that she oh my gosh, my handwriting. She didn't spend $750 million not for a friend. It's a business decision. Oh, absentee landlord, or to be an absentee landlord, it's a business decision. And then kind of going back to my elevator thing, because I kind of jumped the gun on that. What do you think would have happened if Lena found Kara in the elevator instead of Kara, flying out? What if Lena had found her there? Because Lena right now is seeing this whole new side of Kara. She's only seen Kara as a reporter, as someone that it has had her back and asks the hard questions, like we see with Jack, and she wants to tell the story and tell the truth and really be Lena's vision of this, be hands-on and tell the story. So this is like a really big change. It's not just a friendship change, like not just seeing her friend change, like a friendship kind of aspect. It's more of like a boss, like coworker reaction to, like, she's not seeing those kind of sides of Kara. Sam says it's like she's encouraging Kara to feel better and to do more for herself. Yes. Lena would try to help her with panic attacks. Kara would have to accept it. It wouldn't be easy. Yes, that's true. Because what else? There's not really another choice that Kara can have. If she's in an elevator, does she reveal her powers? Does she push Lena away? I don't think Lena would not accept that at all. She would definitely, try her best to get Kara out of it and into a place where she needs to be. Let me see. I have a comment. I can't read the word above it that I wrote, but something about minions. Something with friends that she's only had minions. But then I kind of think in the future or in the past where we learned about Jack and then Andrea as well. So just a kind of side note there. I also have. I really need to take better notes and not do it in the dark. I tend to like watch TV in the dark and I'm just kind of scribbling on a piece of paper. Let me see. It looks like that's all that I have for episode 2. Does anyone else have anything to talk about? I know I didn't really talk about much of the Rain and Ruby stuff. Does anyone have anything to add about that, or even the Alex stuff? Was there any Alex and Maggie stuff in this episode? Okay. I love their relationship. So sad when it ended. Yeah, I enjoyed their relationship a lot more during the rewatch than I did previously. And I think it's just because I was more focused on the Lena Cara stuff, because Lena was a new character as well last season. So because I kind of already been through that journey, I was able to kind of take in the Sandver scenes a little bit more. I was talking to another person, I think on the book club Instagram, about it as well. I think it would have been really cool to see their relationship a little bit more. And also, I guess not spoiler, but for the other episodes, kind of going forward about their breakup and Alex wanting kids. And then you have Ruby and Sam is worried about who's going to take care of Ruby. And then the camera just pans to Alex. And then nothing really ever comes of that until seasons later about wanting a child. I just felt like there could have been such better storylines kind of going forward from that. But it just kind of, I mean, the writers did what they did. I do feel like Alex was better off leaving. She needed someone who matched her ideals and future plans. Yes, I agree. You definitely, I mean, I'm not in a relationship, but I'm the reason why a lot of my friends got together and met their husbands and wives. And so you definitely got to be compatible. You got to have the same fundamentals. Because if you don't have that, you don't have that foundation. So I think that while I loved Sandverse and rewatching it, I definitely agree that ultimately maybe they weren't the best couple because of those things. And I'm glad that the show explored that, you know, in the end, like, you know what you want. And yes, relationships are about sacrifices. But I don't know what I'm trying to say, but in the end, like, you have to, like, you shouldn't change your character for someone. Marina says, oh God, I'm still bitter for Sam and Alex. I am too. I haven't finished rewatching the season 3 yet. But is there any reason, was it just like a 1 season contract for Sam, the actress? Sam and Ruby right there. We could have gotten that storyline. I still think that would have been such a great decision. Yeah, I do too. There's a lot of things that the writers, I think, could have done, and thankful for fan fiction picking up those pieces. Is there anything anyone else wants to talk about? I can't believe we only got through 2 episodes. I will try to plan more accordingly and get things a little bit more organized on my end. But does anyone have anything they want to talk about? It doesn't have to be Supergirl related at all. It can be Katie stuff. We just got a lot of information. It can be about our podcast. It can be about Lilo and Stitch. We've talked about that previously. Has everyone seen the movie? What they think? We talked about that in the intro 1 month ago. But basically, I guess the last 6 minutes is a free-for-all. If anyone has any ideas or recommendations and stuff, all is accepted.
So since we were just speaking about Sandverse, I feel like I actually enjoy it less with each time I rewatch it, just
Oh
because
no.
having seen Alex with Kelly, I just feel like it's such a contrast. You can kind of see all the flaws in her relationship with Maggie.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a very good point. Um, I I remember. I feel like I remember more about Sanvers than I do with Alex and Kelly. So I can't wait to get back into those. See that is it one? Is it a couple seasons? Is Kelly there a couple seasons, or is it just one? But I'm excited to see that. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah. Um, Sam says, I was trying to literally zoom into the bookshelf during Katie's podcast to read the book titles. I've done that as well. I haven't done it for the podcast ones. I think I know one book, and then someone messaged me about another that I have to update the list about. I have to update the list. So many books, so I promise I will do it. I've done, there's quite a few books from her bookshelf with, I think was like the con video that she did during COVID. Just other kind of like pictures randomly around. And then now the podcast. So hopefully there'll be some new books coming out with titles. Yeah. Also, when she was living in Vancouver during Supergirl, that there was a lot of books that were recognized in the background from her apartment or flat as well. Season 3 is not a fan favorite for many reasons, but I love the good parts of it. I love the Rain storyline. Yes. Yeah, I thought that was very different. I liked a lot of the parts of it too. But as we get more, I don't want to say too much because I know we're going to talk more about it in next coming lives. Danson and Sam and Alex were comparable. I feel like something started with Alex and Sam arc and continued with the Danson arc. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, because you have Alex who's just kind of discovered something about herself and got into this very, very serious relationship very quickly. And then for it to suddenly kind of end, then you see the Sam and Alex arc, and then let that kind of I guess kind of not fester, but kind of like the maturing growth that then led her to the Danson arc. Yeah. So thank you all for sharing that. Does anyone have anything else that they want to add or share before we go? We got a couple minutes left. I do know, and I keep forgetting it, so I do have to write it down. The book swap that I tried to start a couple months ago, we have some participants, but I have to start posting more about it. So basically, if you don't know about it, we did this at the beginning of the book club years and years ago, where you give me your address and your information, and then you get a book from someone, and then you send a book to someone. A lot of people got some books through it. It's very, very fun to do. There was one person, I think they ended up living like the street down from someone else ended up meeting their partner through it, along with other interactions through the book club for it. So it's very fun to do. I definitely want to put that on my priority list. So my 2 priority action items is the book swap or book exchange and updating the Katie book list. Sam was there to show Alex how she could be a single mom, foreshadowing Alex Maggie breakup. That's really cool. That is an amazing take. I didn't think about that, so thank you very much for bringing that up. That's 100% true, and I think that gave Alex the option, and if she wanted to become a single mom, that she could. Sam says, funny thing, when I came out as gender fluid, Sam was the name closest to my given name, and I adopted it easily. And whenever I tell anyone why I use Sam, I mention it can be the short name of Samantha, Shamir, and Shamir. I hope I said that all right. That is an amazing story. Thank you for sharing that with us. Oh, yes, I did pronounce it right. I'm so bad. But I've been doing really good, I think, lately. That is wonderful. So thank you for sharing that. Does anyone else have anything to say? Marina says, love your name. That is awesome. Thank you. Oh no. Erin's joining us. Let's see if hi, Erin. Good news is you made it for a second, I guess, and then also bad news because we're just about to end for the hour. We only got through 2 episodes, so good news, there's going to be more coming. So I appreciate you trying to make the attempt to join us now. Before, if you want to say anything or chat anything, you could probably got like about a minute to do that. So I guess to conclude, thank you for everyone for joining. I've mentioned it before. This is something very new to me. I'm usually in the background for a lot of this stuff, so I really appreciate the support and participation in the chat. It really means a lot. If you have criticisms and stuff that for me, please let me know, things that you want me to change. I really hope to kind of build a community for all this kind of stuff, and I just want to make sure I'm putting it in the best direction forward. So I truly appreciate anything. Oh, thank you, Marina. Says thanks for a great meeting. Really appreciate it. So I will let you guys know more about the next meetings. I know we still have the intermission book meeting, which honestly I think I'm going to combine with the Throne of Glass. I know a couple people read intermission, and it's a small book. I took a good amount of notes, but I can't see myself talking for an hour about it, just to be honest. So I may combine those 2 book meetings just because I feel like there's a lot more to talk about with Supergirl. But we'll see what it goes, you know. Erin says, glad to be here and glad I made it. Well, Erin, you made the ending. So I'm sorry about that. I almost did make it 1 o'clock, if that makes you feel any better. But then I just kept it at 12. So does anyone have anything else to add before we conclude today? I'll give it about 30 seconds or so. Oh, Erin says, what did I miss? So we basically just talked about season 3, episode 1 and 2. People who were there at the beginning knew that I had to start a little bit late. But basically we just did episode 1 and 2. We'll be back to do the rest at another date. Is anyone, that's kind of the general gist of it for 30 seconds. So if no one else has anything to add, I guess that we will end it here. So once again, thank you to everyone who showed up and came and participated. And like I said, participation is not required. But I truly appreciate it because it does kind of help me learn how to kind of interact and do this stuff. If Erin says, okay, I'll be better prepared for the next one, I will too. I took lots of notes. That's like, I have so many notes. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages back and forth. So like 24 pages of notes, and it's all like scribbly stuff. So I will definitely be more prepared, and maybe that will make it go by a little bit faster, a little smoother. How do you feel about recording the meetings? I like to record them because I don't know if I'm going to put them on YouTube or something, or just do little clips on Instagram or Twitter. So I record them just in case, just because there's kind of no harm done. I wasn't prepared to kind of to do that the first time for my intro. I wish I did. But if anyone has any thoughts about that, there has been people that have reached out and participate in the meetings but don't want to be included in the releasing of the recordings. So I will 100% edit all that out. Marina says, gotcha, just saw they're being recorded. Are they uploaded somewhere in the public or just for you? Right now, they're just for me. I do have to go, if I do ultimately release them to the public, which I feel like I'm going to be doing just because I know a lot of people want to join, but they miss because of the time zones and the timing constraints. So I want people to be able to join and listen in after and then share their thoughts in a chat another way. But I do kind of have to edit some things around for people who are or they want to participate here and not have that shared, which I completely understand. And honestly, I'll probably edit some stuff out for me as well, because I sometimes take pauses or I kind of overthink my stuff. Yeah. Short IG reels are great for promotion for meetings and book club too. I like that idea. Well, thank you. Now I got another action item for my list. So I got book swap, I got reels and the video recordings. To kind of do something with that. And then, oh yeah, the book list. See, I got to write this stuff down. I'm a list person. Book club list. So, okay. Well, thank you to everyone that attended.